Buona domenica from Sicily. Ciao, Alfred in Boston. Come
It's
stai?
a
How are you?
rainy day here in Boston. Looks like we're going to have a washout for the 4th. Oh, well.
It is beautiful and sunny here in Sicily. We went for a beautiful boat ride. It was great. The air is fresh. The food is good. All is good here in Sicily. Hey, I want to wish everyone watching in the United States a happy 4th of July weekend.
Meanwhile, we're choking on the smoke from Canada, number one. It's raining, number two. Restaurants put on an 18% surcharge, and then you forget about it and you give them another tip, number three. And number four, Bunster, you're not with me. And you know, when you're not with me, it's a perpetual rain cloud, honey.
Oh, honey, I miss you so much, but I know you'll be back here very soon. But the good thing is, I've got our friend Maria from Revere here. She'll be joining us in just a little bit. And she's from Revere, and her family is from a town called Itala in the province of Messina. And we went there and met with um, her cousins. And this is the craziest story. So her cousin's boyfriend told us last time, because this is the second time she came. She also came in 2019, and we found her ancestral hometown, and we found Pepina. And Santo is her boyfriend, right? Santo's 90 years old. He still drives a car. Pepina's in her 80s. So beautiful couple. And Santo goes, "Oh, I have a niece. She lives in the United States. Where? Revere. She happens to live 5 minutes from Maria. Her name is also Maria. And it turns out that the other Maria is here in Sicily at the same time. So we had lunch at their house, a beautiful spread, real Sicilian style, right? Like the food kept coming and coming. Maria and her husband, Giovanni, it's such a great story. We'll have it next Sunday. But listen to this. Uh, we had mussels, we had insalata de polpe, we had calamari, we had breaded swordfish. Then for pasta, we had eggplant and swordfish with mint and red sauce. So the food just kept on coming. And Giovanni's a singer, so I had him sing. It was a great time. So that's what you're missing here.
Oh, well. You know what I've noticed over here? Just about everything. My eyes have been observing all week long, right? And some of my favorite places, what they're doing is they're subtly reducing their standard serving size, which is very upsetting to me. You know, when you're eating a slice of pizza, for example, I had pizza, and my whole life I've had pizza practically at the same joint. It was like half this, almost a little bit more than half the size. And just every place that we've gone, I've gone or we've gone, it's like disappointing to come back to the United States and to see it kind of implode a bit compared to how it was just 6 months ago. That's how I feel about it, anyways.
Well, let me tell you about this. Maria, not the Maria that's here, Maria, who's the niece of Santo, she left Sicily when she was 14, and she left to Revere. And in the past few years, she had decided that she didn't want to stay in the United States anymore. And so she came back here, bought a house in Itala, in the little town in Messina. And all she talked about was what a good decision this was, because she loves her life here much more than back in Revere. And our Maria
You
here
know,
is thinking of doing the same thing.
one of the more interesting statistics I've read is that when a Sicilian leaves Sicily for economic work opportunities, roughly 50% of them come back. It's not that
Yeah.
they leave forever. And Maria would be a good example of that, going out there and earning money and bringing it over here. You know, not a bad idea. Not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
So
So,
anyway, this was a great for Maria, not our Maria, but the Maria who's the niece. For her, it was a quality of life thing. She really missed, she basically bought a house in the exact town where she grew up here in Italia before she went to Revere. And, it was interesting. She was talking about her first year in the United States. She said she cried every day because she missed Sicily so much. So
It's
it's
kind of like me the first couple of days I was here. I was
yeah.
crying every night.
Oh, the good old Alfred is back, I see. All right.
Lord
And you did
Almighty,
say
Lord
you missed
Almighty.
the food. What's the first? What am I making you for food?
For fruit or food?
Food.
What are you gonna make for me?
Yeah, but your
I haven't
arrival.
had, just so you know, other than a single slice of pizza, anything of the Italian variety I have not had. No pasta,
Good. You're
no
coming back.
Italian
I have
bread.
plenty.
No, no. I am not eating our Sicilian fare that we live on over there in Sicily
Same
while I'm
here.
over here. I'm eating different things. Like, for example,
Listen
I
to me.
had steak tips, which you don't get over there. I had Chinese food one night. Okay. I can't even think. Oh, tomorrow night I'm going for Lebanese food. Things, have hummus and stuff like that. So then when I come back to with you, you got to cook me up something good. I bet.
I've
You know
got something for you. I've got a
what's that?
scacciata. I got a scacciata for you. Spinach scacciata that our friend Stefania made. Hey, you
Listen, I
know
had
what?
a piece of, Fridays I don't eat meat, but yesterday I had to buy, Friday rather, I bought a spinach pie, and it was the stuff on the inside of the spinach was roughly 25 or 30% what stuff is in Sicily inside the spinach. And the
Yes.
price here was $6 or $7. $6 or $7 for
One
essentially
piece.
bakery bread, one line of a line and a half of spinach, which of course melts. Ridiculous, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Hey, listen, I want to give a shout out to Helen Comasco because she made me look at this. She made me this. She knows how much I love the testa di mora. She made me this in a bag. And for you, all of you guys who may follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm obsessed with the Fiat 500 red convertible. And look at this beautiful thing that she made me. So I want to give a big shout out for her for making me. I hope her and Dawn are great. And I want to say hello to some of the people watching. I see Paul is here. He's probably watching from Castellammare,
Hi,
Michelle and
Paul.
Joe from Piscataway. Did I say it right? Jim, Peter Scipoletti's here. Jim Ingram is here.
Peter, I'm
We've
going to give
got,
you a call on Monday. Tell Peter I'm going to call him on Monday. I'm going to try to hook
I
up
think
with
you
Pete
just
if I
heard.
possibly can.
Hey, our buddy Gary Arivella is here. We've got Annette Cinquamani Falbo, and let's see, I saw some other people, and if I didn't say, oh, yeah, Nona is here, Thomas Vecchio's here, and let's see, Rose M is here, Bona Domenica. I want to know what you guys will be doing for 4th of July. That's what I want to know. And listen to this, okay? Al goes to me this morning because we were having a production discussion about what are we going to talk about. And he goes, why don't we talk about 4th of July in Sicily? I go, Al, hello? There's no 4th of July in Sicily. That's an American holiday. But what you meant was that 4th of July is celebrated by Americans. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah, well, there's two class. There's actually three classes of Americans in Sicily right now. There's your people who come in and out, the visitors, tourists. That's one group. The second group are those who retire or have visas to live in Sicily. That's two groups. And the third group happens to be our brave sailors and Marines that are stationed at Singanella Naval Station in
That's right.
South. There's three different groups of Americans. I had the pleasure one year of being invited to a cookout with a bunch of Marines at
Hello.
Sigonella. Huh?
Wait a second. 4 years ago, when Maria was here, we went to Anne Marie and Mike's house 4 years ago. They're from
That's right.
Sigonella.
That's okay. But let me finish my story, okay? And they had steak. So I was told, if you want to come to get a real good steak, come to a barbecue. There's gonna be about 20 of us, and they had like jerry rigged barbecue grills about 16 feet long, and on the
Wow.
grill, 16 feet long, nothing but beautiful ribeye steaks.
Oh,
It was a great day. So the guy that
when
in
was
charge of it, I remember I had a Red Sox hat, and this guy was a degenerate Yankee fan. So after I stuffed myself the whole day, and we all stuffed ourselves the whole day, we had a great time, a lot of laughs. I said to the guy, I said, out of a symbol of respect, in Sicily, when a man respects another guy, he gives him his tie, which is what I would usually do. But all I had was my Red Sox hat. So I says, you could have this. And I gave a Yankee fan
oh,
my Red Sox hat, right?
he must have been
And
like,
he
I'm
actually
gonna
wore it.
toss it.
He was touched that I did that, believe it or not. He didn't give me his Yankee hat, because had he given me the hat and I put it on, I would have been burned over here. So I didn't want to do it. Go ahead.
Hey, listen,
That's
I,
all.
I want to talk. Listen, your hat. Can I just see that hat? It looks like a palm tree with the American flag.
That's
What is this?
correct. I had this made special.
By who?
Palm tree. Uh, the palm tree represents Sicily. The stars and stripes, of course, represent the United States. And the most important thing, the inside tag says "Made in China."
Listen, can we call Maria
$5.
up
What?
$5?
Five
Let's talk to
bucks.
our friend Maria. Maria, come in the studio.
Maria.
Maria Quagenti. Come say hello
Maria
to our fans.
Quagenti was in. She's
Come a
from
little closer.
Revere. And yesterday
Revilla.
I was in Revere watching MJ play baseball. Maria, I love you and I miss you, and I'm going to see you next week, right?
Yes,
Maria, how was it visiting your ancestral hometown for the second time?
it's really hard to put words to it. It's just a feeling of peace and feeling like I'm home. It's great.
Doesn't that sound familiar to many of you guys? Feeling like you're home. And Maria's already talking to the other Maria about moving here.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
in my
Up
future
there?
horizon.
Up
Where do you
there?
think to?
Somewhere in Sicily.
Oh, why don't you move near us? We can hang out all the time. I heard we're going to San Lorenzo swimming this week, right?
Yes,
Next week.
for sure.
Next week? I'm
That's
looking
after
forward
you
to
come back.
going. I'm looking forward to going to going there for sure.
I have a question for you. In the past 4 years, have you seen any changes so far in Sicily?
No,
No.
no.
Still a
The what?
serene.
It's still the same as I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Very peaceful, and
Now, it was your grandfather who left, right?
great grandfather
Mm-hmm.
who left Sicily, the Itala area in Messina. And he was married in Boston and had my grandfather. And my grandfather lived in Boston, and it was called the West End of Boston at that time. And they moved to Revere. And they lived their married life 60 plus years in Revere.
60 years married. God bless you. And tell me your memories about your grandfather.
He talked about Sicily all the time. He would speak Sicilian when he didn't want us to know what he was saying. And he was just very proud. And he carried a lot of the traditions back to
And what did he talk to you about Sicily?
that. He just loved it, and the way of life and the people and the simplicity, really.
Put the bug in you a little bit, huh?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of foods did he make?
Esther, I have
You
to
would also,
say this for the record, excuse me, but Maria is officially a daughter of Sicily. It's in her veins, and yes, she does belong here. Let her retire from her big fat high paying job that she has in Revere as a school teacher, and she can come over here and she can live the life that she wants with her huge, beautiful family. So Maria, Sicily's waiting for you. That's it. That's what I want to say. Save your money. That's the whole key. Is prepare
Penny,
for it. I think. And
So,
you,
tell me a little bit more about your memories with your grandfather.
Sundays was always the day we would go and visit, and it would be sit down at the table for 4 hours, and it would be course after course after course, and there was always a pasta dish or a zucchini dish, stuffed artichokes. It was endless food growing up, and he made his own wine down in the cellar. He made a red and a
wow,
white
wow.
wine.
The
Good, good memories, huh?
Yeah.
but Maria, nowadays when you have Sunday dinner in Revere, when you go with your family, have you noticed a change in the quality or quantity of the food that serves? Is it like the same exact stuff or is it different stuff?
Like going out to eat in restaurants now?
No, no, I'm talking about in your house when you have people over your house. You serve the same thing that your grandfather did or your
Yes.
grandmother. You have primos and secundos.
We still make arancini
Oh, you
for
do?
Christmas
Good.
time.
Wow.
My
Yeah.
sisters. Yep. And he taught us how to do that. So we
What do
did
you
it.
put?
Esther told me that on her, she's going to learn how to make. She's going to learn how to make arancino this year.
Honey, what are
Uh,
you cutting up? Can you stop? What are you cutting up?
I'm not cutting up anything.
Oh, I heard the scissors and I see scissors. And I heard
I
chick.
don't have scissors in my hands.
Oh my God. When are you coming back? I miss you.
Why? So you can choke me?
All right. One last memory, something. What was his personality like?
He was a jokester. Every sentence out of his mouth was usually a joke or a one-liner or something to make you laugh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In fact,
I would
when
have
we
got
were
along with him perfectly.
when we were up
Absolutely.
in Itala, the ancestral hometown, she kept saying, "Oh, this reminds me of my grandfather."
So much.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Maria,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you, and I hope to see you frequently when I'm over there. So I'm gonna have the
I will.
two hottest looking babes in Sicily with me at San Lorenzo. That's all I know.
That's gonna be fun.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
final word for people considering coming to Sicily and maybe putting it off.
Just do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. I
Just
waited
do it.
a very long time.
You waited a very long time, not as long as our friend Paula. Remember the 86-year-old Paula from Ragusa? She waited 86 years.
She wanted to make sure that she was hanging on to meet us before she wanted to come here. She wanted to know who Esther and Alfred was. That's why. But Paula Hornback, you're talking about? What a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Spiritual woman.
Yeah.
And she's a lot younger emotionally and mentally than 86.
Yeah,
Honestly,
was
she's a doll. Her full family was nice.
We've had great visitors, that's for sure. All right.
Yep.
All right,
Ciao.
Maria is going to step out of the studio. And I know there were some comments.
Hey, I could hear you now. You must have done something with the buttons while Maria was talking. Okay? Because I could hear you perfectly before I had to read your lips.
Oh my God, Al.
All
Oh
right.
my God. Hi
All
there,
right,
Al.
so
You'll be back in Italy soon.
yep.
Pat Greeley says West End of Boston sadly redeveloped and most of the residents were forced to move. Same thing with Lawrence and many other places. Jim wants to know if you're modifying your wardrobe again.
Modifying my wardrobe? What does that mean? I have to tell you a funny. All right. Jim, I have a story for you, okay?
Future story.
Just Wait a minute. I know you like the hat, but Jimmy, listen to this. So now towards I have enough clothes over here to last me for 2 weeks, okay? Shirts, underwear, socks, everything. And then I put them in carry-ons. I can't hear you. You just shut me off again, Esther.
No, honey, I didn't say a word. I was
All right, all right,
whispering.
all right.
I just
So
I just had too much information.
here's what I'm trying to talk to you about. I had a shirt scheduled for Saturday and Sunday to wear to go out with. And yesterday when I put on my Saturday shirt, I stopped by the front and I got myself a cup of coffee and I took 2 steps and this little kid ran into me and I spilled it all over
No
my
way.
Saturday shirt, right? So I was freaking furious. So I ran back to my room. I got my shirt. I put it under the sink, right? I was furious. There goes a whole day's worth of shirt. That means I'm gonna have to wear something twice, right? And I don't like to do that. So I put on my Sunday shirt and I'm going back to the front, the thing, right? Get my coffee again, take another 2 steps, and another little kid
I
hits
no.
me,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
right?
whoa, 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 whoa,
So
whoa.
now I'm down my Saturday and Sunday shirt, and I have nothing to wear on Monday. So I have to go to the store today and buy a couple more shirts.
Well, wait, is this the same Al Zappola who in the morning walks with the coffee and I can see the trails of where you walk, ba-boom, 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 spilling everywhere? Is this the same Al Zappola?
Listen, did you know that that coffee was neon? So if the lights went out, I know how to get back, and that's why I do that. No, but I'm
Oh, that's
serious.
why you do it at the house. That's why you put the neon. Oh, okay. Not so I can find which way
It's
you
a, I'm
enter.
just marking a trail. That's all I'm doing. It's marking a trail. Hey,
No.
Esther, we
Wait, I
I
gotta
think
tell
we
you something. I gotta
go
tell
ahead.
you something. Yesterday, Maria and I went to Saturday night mass in Acitrezza. And 7 days ago was the celebration of San Giovanni Battista. We had a beautiful fireworks. We had the Vara with the St. John the Baptist. Then we had, remember the fish, the Opiccio Mari that they do out in the water, reenacting the swordfish. So anyway, usually for saints, 7 days after they have another celebration. So we went Saturday night, last night, and guess who was saying mass? Father Carmelo from
Oh,
Acicatena. Father Carmelo from Acicatena, who we work with the Sicilian project. Him and our Father Giovanni from Acitrezza, they were doing a joint mass yesterday. It was very, very beautiful. They had the mayor of Aciriali. She's a beautiful woman. And the vice mayor of Acitrezza there. So it was like a big thing. And then they had the band and fireworks. It was just a beautiful event. I forgot to tell you that. It was a very special mass. We got there at like 20 minutes of 7. The church was packed. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, the Church of San Giovanni Battista is super small. It's not super small. I'd say 100 people can fit in there. It
yeah,
was
about 100.
packed. About 100. It was packed, but it was a beautiful celebration. So then afterwards, I sent Father Carmelo a note saying, it was nice to see you. Boy, he had a very, very passionate, um, what's the word I'm looking for?
Response.
Sermon. A very,
Oh,
very powerful sermon, because we've never seen him give mass. We've only seen the other guy in Acicatena, but it was very beautiful. He was very passionate, and it was nice to see Acitrezza and Acicatena are two towns in the same church saying mass. It was very nice.
that's a good thing. That's an excellent thing. I'm glad you
Alfio
have.
Tropea. Did you hear me just talk about this? Alfio is from Galveston, Texas, and he's also from Acitrezza. We had a beautiful celebration in Acitrezza yesterday. Madonna. I was really thinking of you too.
Let me ask you a question. What other festivals do we have planned to go to this summer?
Oh, well, Maria and I are going to the Swordfish Festival on Friday here in Acitrezza.
Okay, that's a good one. What else?
Oh,
Any?
that's a good one.
When is that one that we usually go to, the anchovy festival?
That's the one in Valverde. And you know what I was
It-
thinking? They didn't have the cannoli festival this year in Villa Grande. They usually have it. They didn't have the cannoli festival. Of course, Santa Rosalia is happening on July 15th over there in Palermo. That's a big one.
I don't want to go to the big ones. I don't like going to Rosalia or even Agata. I just like to do a drive through, or as I say, a slide into those places. There's just the crowds are just huge, way too big.
Helen says, and the pews and kneeled are so hard as a rock in the church. Bring a pillow. Yeah, I know. And Helen, it was packed and it's warm and there's not a lot of air. But you know what's really unique about that church in Acitrezza that's so interesting? You have the church right in the middle of the town, right? It's a very small town and the doors are open. There's a side door and there's a back door. And so in the side door is an alley that goes between the church and a restaurant. And the alley goes, it's like an alley leading to another street. So all during mass, because it was 7 o'clock Saturday night, tons of teenagers walking through, joking and blah, 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 and then dogs walking by. And then it was just such an interesting Saturday night. There's a church blop right in the middle of town, and you hear the townspeople around. It was just very beautiful. Oh, and there was a choir, and they were playing the organ. It was one of the most beautiful masses I've been to in a very long time.
So that's something that they should do if they're in this neighborhood next year. Now, tell me, are we taking any groups whatsoever to this side of the island next year, so people, our listeners, can say, "Oh, I think we want to go with Esther and Alfred." When are we coming? When's the next group coming here?
Well, Dr. Rosemary, St. Anthony Abate in Charami 1 month from now, and also
Oh.
St. Anthony in San Antonio, the street.
Oh, we have to
town.
go back to that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good one.
Yeah.
Frank says you guys should have a private video chat with each other instead of here. We do that too. Believe me, we do that too. Let's see. We have two June tours. One of them on the West Coast, June 6 to 16, and then over here on the East Coast, and I can't remember the dates, but the Festival of San Giovanni Battista is in one of them. And let me tell you guys that having a festival, attending a festival or a sagra is a must-do to really see Sicilian life. The family that just left also happened to be from Boston, and they got to experience the Festival of San Giovanni Battista. And, you know, you're among locals and you see how important saints are, because here in Sicily, saints, every single town has a saint, has a patron saint. So over here, San Giovanni Battista for Acitrezza, for Acicatena is Mary in Chains. Also in Itala was Mary in Chains. So everyone has their patron saint, and certain days of the year when they fall, it's like a big deal, a very big deal. So
Esther, before you continue,
Sagra. Sagra is a celebration of the food. So the Festa de Pesce Sada or the Sagra de Pesce Spada is a celebration of the swordfish. There's also the sardines. There's the artichoke festival, the strawberry festival. There's the gelato festival. Oh, the street food festival. So they're really big about celebrating not only the saints, but also the foods, which I think is so beautiful. It's, you know, honoring the foods that are given to us to nourish our bodies and souls. So I love that.
Listen, Esther, before you forget, wait a minute, before you forget, because I asked you about telling tours for next year, and you went on and you kind of bloviated there for 5 minutes. But I think, wait a minute,
I did.
Wait a minute.
June.
Zip it, please. Thank you.
16 and 26 to July 6th.
We have a May tour. We have 2 June tours. We have a May tour. We have 2 June tours. We have a Tuscany tour. and we have an October tour. We're having 5 different tours. And if you're confused about where they're going to be going, you need to go to our website, www.yumiandsicily.com. This way, you won't be as confused as you were several minutes ago until I had to come in and square it all away for Esther. Okay, now you can continue.
Oh, how many days till you? How many days? Oh, 1 week. 7 more days of peace.
Oh, that was
Of no
fun.
one,
I mean,
of no
I
one
couldn't resist it.
breaking my
I'm sorry.
balls. Of no one breaking my balls. Basta. Hi,
All right.
SNL show from Toronto, Ontario. Question: me and my sister will be retiring in Sicilia. Pacino, what would you suggest to buy or rent property? Elle, you got
That
this.
depends. That depends on your age. Number one. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that, if you're, late in life like me, um, I had, my son says, "Hey, Dad, when you kick the bucket, I don't want to have to deal with the $5,000 or $7,000 expense of probating the estate and then selling it and having some Italian lawyer or Italian notary or Italian somebody, give me half the sandwich instead of the whole thing." So that's one. That's one. Now, if it's generational, if you're coming over here with your kids and you want to leave it to your kids because they want to come over here, that's a different story. Okay. Uh, Prices here, unlike prices in the United States, they don't go up and down, up and down. They're very stable. And the reason is because only 25% of all land in Sicily is privately held. The rest of the land in Sicily is held by, those big agri corporations that you see as you're driving from Catania to Palermo, by the church and so forth. So prices get stable. That's why they say a Sicilian would rather eat dirt than sell his house if he doesn't have to. I mean, basically, that's the truth.
Al, I got
So I would say
another one.
rent. Huh?
I got another one for you. Love your show. We're thinking of buying a holiday home in Sicily. How long does the process of buying home usually last?
That depends on. Okay. Well, listen. No, listen. If you're organized, and the problem is that they see something online, they fall in love with it, and they buy a house based on a few pictures and a video online. Okay. And we don't think that's a good idea at all. Okay. We think that if you want to buy a house, especially worth several €100,000, it's imperative that you come here and look at that house. Okay. Then, if you're serious about it and they're serious about it and there's no impediments on it, you could probably fast track a house between 3 and 5 months, depending on the area of Sicily that it is, on the lawyer and notarios that you have involved, on the status of the inspection for the land, making sure there's no problem. The most important thing is for you getting the U.S. documents from Italy. I mean, from United States to Italy, because typically there's a delay, especially if things have to be apostilled or translated. So it's a process. So learn about it as you possibly can. Um, you know, I know a good lawyer with my partner who happens to do all these things, but we're of the attitude that you measure 9 times and you cut once. So we cross all our T's, we dot all our I's. I mean, that's how you do it.
You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Hey, Al, Nick wants to know if you've been to Sal's Pizza in Lawrence. Of course.
Yes. Salopini he is
I
a
know.
very good friend of mine. Okay. We
And
go back a
mine.
long time. He was a football guy. He was a captain at Northeast, and I played at Boston College. We were both educators. The guy started from nothing, and now he's got a real estate empire. The pizza joints over the years, and I think the restaurants, Salvatore's restaurants, for example, in Boston, all over, he sold those back to the say like the managers and so forth, and he's pretty much doing real estate. Last week, it's funny you mentioned that. Last week they announced in the newspapers that he's going to put together a $500 million deal to
Wow.
to do something where the Hampton Beach Casino is. Hotels, new
Wow.
shop. Yeah, and it was just in the paper, and he's got some heavy duty finances and banks behind him. So this man and his brother Nicholas is a great guy, by the way. They are credits to our Italian background. Okay, honestly, and yes, I know him very well. Good guy, good pal. Love the guy.
Yeah.
And I don't say
Yeah.
that much about too many people. Esther knows that. But this guy over here has got a fastball.
Al, it's so funny how many people that we know together before in common before we even
Yeah,
met. Isn't that incredible? The Merrimack Valley,
yeah,
small community.
yeah. But you want to know something? You know what he did that was very unbelievable? The soccer people or the football people that for the little kids, flag football, were complaining that the adults playing this paddleball baloney, whatever it's called. What's the name of that game that Tom Brady? It's like badminton, except it's a different ball. They're taking up all the fields.
Where
So
is this?
on top, what is it called?
Where are you talking about?
In Lawrence, on top of the Riverwalk,
Oh,
on top of one of his buildings, right? Those
yeah.
long, long, long buildings. He built a soccer field and a flag football field for the little kids to play on. Pickleball.
Pickleball.
That's what it's called.
Thanks to
Yeah.
our viewers.
Yeah. Imagine that pickleball. Uh, okay, go ahead.
Who's is someone trying to get into your room?
Yeah.
Al, if you guys are just joining us now, I'm in Sicily and Al is back in Boston visiting
It's the
family.
lady that wants to clean the room, but I don't want her to clean the room right now, obviously, because I'm talking to you. So what can I
Ciao
say?
from Sydney, Australia. Love watching you guys. My husband's familia is from Trapani and mine from Calabria. Can't wait to get back there very soon. Happy Sunday to you both. Grazie mille. Travelers from down under Australia. I like that name. My favorite YouTube name has got to be Nana's World. She's got my favorite name. Anyway, Al, what do you have for the rest of the day?
Well, I have to replace two shirts right away, so I'm going to go to
Oh,
Salem, New Hampshire, and I'm going to buy two shirts. Number one, I'm also going to go to Bob's Discount or some place that's named Bob's Sporting Goods. That's what it is, because they have a 25% sale off. So I'm going to go there. Maybe I can bring something back over
sounds
there,
good.
because yeah, I mean, and then I'm going to basically screw off for the rest of the day. Maybe one of the kids. I'll go with one of the kids. It's like typical
Hey,
Sunday. That's all.
our buddy
What?
Jody DeLuca is here. Ciao, that being the daughter of a general contractor, when I moved here, I was determined to buy property. Then I found the most amazing apartment, newly renovated, perfect location, and my mind changed immediately. Now, let me tell you about Jody DeLuca. She not only came once, twice, three, four, but multiple times. She did her due diligence looking for property in different places, took her time. She came here not just in beautiful spring and summer. She was here in the winter. She came, she did her research, and she made the move from California and got all her documents and everything. And now she's here full time. She's here full time, and I haven't seen her in months. I saw her once
Hey,
on Jimmy's
that's
birthday. I haven't seen her at all. It's crazy.
let, let me say this, okay? Not only did Jody do it right, the way you're supposed to do it, but Anthony
Jerry.
Campanella did it right. Jerry
Yeah.
Genovese did it right. Nancy Moranto did it right. Right.
Ingram is about to do it.
All our friends on Expats in Sicily, the Facebook page, uh, who did successfully go here, they did it right. And the common thread is they went into it with their eyes wide open and they
Yep.
prepared. Okay. The dumbest thing, absolutely, is when a 40-year-old transfers to Sicily from Skowhegan, Maine, or Brooklyn, New York, and tries to get a job, is
Well,
attempting
you
to get a job in this economic situation,
can't. There are no
and
jobs.
and can't speak English. Okay, I mean, can't speak Italian. In other words, they were not prepared when they come here. If you're going to do
Yeah.
something, be one of those digital nomads. If you have a gig that you're doing, something like that, or something else. But be prepared. Okay, Esther, go
Paul,
ahead.
Paul wants to know if we've done a video on Sicilian agriculture. Of the 390 videos that we have on Sicily, we have not done specifically on agroturismo, but we have done things inside. So
Did he
perhaps,
say agroturismo or did he say agriculture?
agroturismo.
Agriculture,
Agroturismo.
no, we haven't do it because you know why? Because then it seems, I'll tell you why, there's a reason. Then it
Wait.
seems like,
This is new to me too.
no, I've never pushed it because I don't want to be affiliated with some agriturismo guy because our clients will think that, they're our sponsor and it's a puff piece. I don't want to do a puff piece
Well, we're
on
gonna
any,
make
no,
it
no, I
time.
don't. I mean, if it's general, that's a
General
different
out.
story. But here's what I could say about that. All right. One thing. Okay. These bed and breakfasts, so to speak, you have to have a license now in Italy, in Sicily, in order to have one. The fiscal police require that the places that want to rent out to, they're safe, for example,
Yeah.
and they're clean, and most importantly, they've been inspected and they pay taxes. So these Johnny come latelys that have sprouted up overnight, somebody's bedroom or whatever.
Remember that
I would,
agroturismo Katya took us to? And he made wine, he did olive oil, he had a full farm.
right,
What else did he
right.
do? He had the
There are,
cars. Remember the cars? Maybe
there are good places and then there are good places. Okay. So that's another thing you have to,
that's
uh,
like everything. That's like
yeah,
everything. You have to do a little research. Hey, listen, honey, do you miss this
yeah.
view?
Oh, yeah, I do. And and my plants are still living, right? That's all I care about.
And say,
Great
there's
view,
Maria.
Esther.
Ciao. And there you go. There you go. On that note, listen out. We're going to have roasted chicken for dinner,
Yeah.
zucchini spaghetti, salad and bread, and all the yummy stuff.
Well,
How
listen,
does that?
take extra good care of Maria for me. And I want one more thing, Esther. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. You've been going like a banshee for I don't know how long. So try to take it easy. And I'll be home next week.
Hey, I want to wish everyone a very, very happy 4th of July. Ching ching to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for Maria to coming on. Thank you for
Maria,
all your
thank you.
comments. And
Okay, I'll see you guys
love you,
later.
honey. Miss you.
Ciao, ciao. Love you.
Arrivederci.
Bye bye.
Ciao.